I think, and there's a moneymaker here, that you could put on a network and all that would appear on that network is a bowl of shit. And it'd have to be steaming. Can't just be lying there. It needs to be steaming. Why? Because motion catches the eye. You'd never see a human being. All you'd see is a bowl of shit. And it plays some of that new age music so it's relaxing. And they'd watch it for a second and go, holy shit, that doesn't make sense, and they'd go away. But I guarantee you, it would haunt them. And every day they would turn on the TV. And they'd watch, and they'd watch, and they'd watch, and then they'd go, where was that bowl of shit? And then they'd put it in that recall button. So they'd wake up, watch the morning news, and go, bowl of shit! Eventually, they'd start watching it for longer periods of time to see what was going on. But they'd never see a human being, just a steaming bowl of shit. But here's the kicker. Eventually, we put a number up, and you can call that number. And what you have to do is guess which celebrity gave us the shit. That's right, it's a contest. Oh, and it's $1 a call. And we're in charge. So nobody really knows who the winner is, do they?
Morning to you. Coming up on the show today, get your man all hot under...
I'm Justin Lee Collins, and my love is bigger than the ocean. Fuck off.
And I just can't hide. And I'm Kelly Brook.
Oh, yeah.
But who cares? Then who cares?
Hello, welcome to Friday Night with Jonathan Ross.
No, they get upset if you call them monkeys.
Life-changing results. That's the Jeremy Kyle Show. Next.
You're the ugliest thing I've ever seen. I wouldn't charge you for a barge pole.
I am not having language like that, and you both go off if it continues. That is the rule, OK? Honestly, you amoeba of a man, do you honestly believe that that is the right way to behave? Seriously. Answer me. Do me a favour.
Yeah.
Take those glasses off a minute. OK. You're too beautiful, sweetheart. I think you're beautiful. Old enough to be your dad, sadly. You must be mightily glad you're not in this relationship anymore.
Oh, I'm glad, mate.
Why'd you sleep with him 3 weeks ago, then?
I need to fuck something. Trixie!
If you like to gamble, I tell you I'm your man. You win some, lose some, it's all the same to me. Pleasure is to play. Ain't no difference what you say. I don't say greed. The only card I need is the ace of spades. The ace of spades.
Good evening.
It's not enough to do something sensible with, but it's enough to do something silly with.
Oh, car.
Clothes. Definitely give some money to charity. Pay off my debts. Clothes.
Book a nice holiday. Girlish country.
There are people dying now, so give me the money. And here's the numbers. We read about.
No, we're probably going to get the address first, aren't we?
No, let's fuck the address. Let's get the numbers.
A. Strawberries.
Then you need to get on the phone.
B. Oranges.
Pick up the phone.
Or C. Bananas. To 81149.
It's exciting.
If Jason's your winner, then vote for him on 09011 21 4404.
Get that number 0908 391 8000. It's going to be below us throughout the whole show.
Option number 2 is Chardonnay, and option number 3 is Sarah. Her box looks like it's frozen.
Kerry up next says, will I pass my driving test tomorrow? Oh, Kerry, fingers and toes crossed for you.
Go slow now. Look at the cards there, yeah? Because the card for your driving test tomorrow shows you riding a horse. Modern day horse is obviously a car.
7777. What are you waiting for?
It's exciting when you think you can walk away with £3,000 for one answer.
I was actually thinking about joining the army.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really was.
What, you mean, going around...
Yeah, doing the killing, obviously.
Yeah.
Hello, my name's Giles Brandreth, and tonight, Lynn Gilbert, Joe Grossi, Billy Brightman, and Rachel Collinson are all hoping to prove that they've got star quality. You've now got 24 seconds to establish your true star quality. Good luck.
It's not the pale moon that excites me.
And what you've got to do is turn it into as many different things as you can in 30 seconds.
Motorbike, pneumatic drill, umbrella, plate lights, vacuum cleaner.
Okay, what's it going to be?
I'm going to do some acting, drama.
A little bit of drama.
Serious.
Oh, good. Thespian Billy. It's audition time on Star Quality.
I wasn't mentioned in the press. They didn't realise the important part that I played in Frank's life, so I didn't get the coverage. But I thought about revealing myself. But what's so good? His fiancée had her photo taken, bawling her head off. She insisted we bury the engagement ring with him. It was just a theatrical gesture. It's too much trouble now to put a bunch of flowers on the grave. But his death was no accident. He was murdered. Don't contradict me!
Hello, and welcome to Look Around You.
Rapping. I'm rapping all day and I'm rapping all night. Come on, I'm rapping to the beat and I'm rapping. Welcome back. This is Star Quality. Ten.
I don't like liars. I don't like cheats. There is no phone in here. There is no text a number. There is no panel of judges that's going to make the decision up. This is not a game.
Has anyone got a name at the moment?
I have.
Let's go for it.
The A2.
The A2.
Yes.
What else? Well, I had an idea of a team name called Jigsaw. Jigsaw? Because it's going to be made up of all different pieces, and each time you look at it, it's going to look different.
I'm trying to close the deal off here. Just give me 1 second. Okay, if I can close, I'll go for a close.
These are very ripe and juicy.
Don't denigrate what we did. It's about our credibility as like women in business, that we don't get labelled with a label that tells us that we have to do that to get money and to do business.
Shut it.
I can't think of anyone who better deserves this award than Jamie Oliver.
For months, the celebrity chef, Jamie Oliver, has been on a crusade.
So, has one celebrity chef made the difference?
Sir, would you tell us who it is?
Yes, it's my son. It's Jamie Oliver.
It's not the fact that Jamie Oliver is a great chef or champion of good cooking that makes him special. It's his love of people.
You've always been my champion and your mother's champion. But now you're the champion of the millions of children of this country.
Jamie Oliver!
He's used the power of television to change things for the better in our homes, in our schools, and in our country.
It's a week the nation mourned one of its most popular television presenters. Martin Frizzell's in Jill's hometown of Weston-super-Mare in Somerset. Morning, Martin. How's the community coping?
Esther, good morning. Put it this way, when I was here at the start of the week after Jill's murder, you just had to mention her name to people and they would openly weep tears. Last night when I came back and you mentioned Jill's name again, there was silence from people and then they'd say, dreadful.
I want to say thank you to everyone. I can't do it.
No, don't worry.
But most importantly, I want to thank you for sharing this incredible experience with me, for sharing my highs and lows, and for your amazing letters and cards of support. I hope to see you all again very soon, but for now, all it says.
And whoever gets my job, you've got the best job in the world because you're working for her, which does.
No, you're the best.
Fantastic.
There is a belief here that there's a large sum of money in box number 1. We're going to keep the 100,000 and the 50,000 until the very end. All right, Sam? So if you just stick with that strategy for box 9. 50p. Oh, no!
How do you justify your support for Hezbollah and its leader, Sheikh Hassan Nasrallah?
A preposterous way to introduce an item, and what a preposterous first question. It's Israel that's invading Lebanon. It's Israel that's attacking Lebanon, not Lebanon that's attacking Israel. So it's you who should be justifying the evident bias which is written on every line on your face and is in every nuance of your voice and is loaded in every question that you ask. They're not a terrorist organization. Only in the mind of Rupert Murdoch's Sky and the Times and the Sun and the News of the World.
I'm going to
They're
stop
not
you
a
there, Mr.
terrorist
Galloway.
organization.
You
One
carry on.
man's terrorist is another man's freedom fighter. You are totally wrong in saying that in most people's eyes, Hezbollah are terrorists. In most people's eyes, Israel is a terrorist state. It's the fact that you cannot comprehend that fact that leads to the bias which runs through all of your reporting and every question that you've asked me in this interview. Silly question. What a silly person you are. Hezbollah is winning the war. You can see it on the other half of the screen. Everybody but you can see it. Well, they seem to be getting a bloody good hiding on the other half of the screen that I'm watching. Maybe you can't see it, but I'm watching them getting a bloody good hiding in the war. So if that's a success, I'm not sure what a failure would look like.
Mr. Galloway, so we'll leave it there. I have to say that some people might find it offensive when more families are mourning their dead to hear you say that it was a bloody good hiding. So
You don't give a damn. You don't even know about the Palestinian families. You don't even know that they exist. Tell me the name of one member of the 7 members of the same family slaughtered on the beach in Gaza by an Israeli warship. You don't even know their name, but you know the name of every Israeli soldier who has been taken prisoner in this conflict, because you believe, whether you know it or not, that Israeli blood is more valuable than the blood of Lebanese or Palestinians. That's the truth, and the discerning of your viewers already know it.
Order. I must ask the honourable gentleman, order. Don't require any assistance from some junior minister. An absurd proposition. I invite the honourable gentleman to withdraw that adjective that he used a moment ago. He's perfectly capable of asking his question without using that word. It is up to him, but if he doesn't wish to withdraw it, I can't reasonably ask the Prime Minister to answer the question. All he has to do is withdraw that word and think of another.
This man has done more to divide this nation than anybody else. He's looked after his own pocket. I still refer to him as Dodgy Dave. Do what you like.
Under the power given to me by Standing Order number 43, I order the honourable member to withdraw immediately from the House for the remainder of this day's sitting.
Of Horizon, their horror stories about how we're all going to die. Meanwhile, on Channel 4, they're running some kind of freak show. The baby with two heads, the twin that gave birth to itself. Meanwhile, they've got these people with sort of correspondence course PhDs from non-accredited colleges in America. I mean, when was the last time that you heard somebody talking about chlorophyll or photosynthesis on national television? You wouldn't get it in a science show, but with Gillian McKeith saying you should eat lots of dark green leaves because that will really oxygenate your blood, you get it at 8 o'clock prime time television. Chlorophyll in chloroplasts only makes oxygen if it's in sunlight. There's no sunlight in your gut. The only way that spinach is going to make oxygen in your bowel is if you stick a torchlight up your arse. And even then, you don't have gills in your bowel. I mean, it's just preposterous fantasy. And she struts about in a white coat, in a laboratory, next to racks of electronic equipment, as if she knows what she's talking about. The thing about alternative medicine, the evidence as it was called, is that the tone throughout is, I'm a scientist. I was a skeptic when I started out, and now my mind has completely been swayed. There was one bit where somebody is apparently having open heart surgery with acupuncture alone for anaesthetic. If you really pay attention to the programme very carefully, you can just about work out that the patient has had huge amounts of local anaesthetic and lots of pre-medication before they have this open heart surgery. But everybody I spoke to came away thinking that what they'd seen was somebody having open heart surgery with acupuncture, as if this was amazing proof of the extraordinary efficacy. I just don't buy that. Even in the advert breaks, you get flaky science. You get things like, the Cillit Bang ad where they say it gets rid of limescale, which is calcium carbonate, and we can prove that by chucking a lump of calcium metal into a dish of Cillit Bang. You chuck a lump of calcium metal into a dish of water, and it will do that. Any metal from the group on the periodic table that calcium's in is going to do that if you chuck it in water. What I want to see for science on telly is a proper show that says, here's an interesting new idea and here's the evidence for and against, because that's what science is all about. If they can't give me, here's an idea and here's the evidence, then I'm just not interested.
Now on BBC One.
This is Breakfast with Kate Silverton and Simon McCoy.
Good morning, it's Thursday.
Very good morning. You're watching Breakfast with Dermot Manahan and Natasha Kaplinsky. Chocolate,
Only the finest.
Dear. Yeah, Dermot, thank you. $2.99.
7:22 is the time, an ungodly hour for an actor of such fine calibre to be getting up in the morning. Matthew Modine is in the studio.
What's your chitter-chatter?
You
don't ever hear it?
No, you don't actually.
Never,
it's not a popular
never.
phrase at the moment, is it?
We're also looking at debt and what you should do if you find yourself unable to pay the bills after cases of those who have felt the need to kill themselves or commit suicide because they're so scared about debt. We want to make sure those kind of tragedies don't happen again. There's always help out there.
Yeah, absolutely. And as well as that, we're going to be catching up with actors Mark Charnock and the lovely Verity Rushworth, who are just about to tie the knot, maybe, as Marlon and Donna in Emmerdale.
Lucy Fisher, you're first. You're 2 today.
Do I love you as far as I can see? Wider than the ocean. I wish that you could see all the love that's in my heart. Sweet little puppies, it's been a big day.
Do you know my favorite things?
Reagan was at the ranch preparing for the weekly radio broadcast.
My fellow Americans, I'm pleased to tell you today that I've signed legislation that will outlaw Russia forever. We begin bombing in 5 minutes.
About to see shows what happens when a 1 megaton nuclear bomb explodes over central London.
Everywhere inside this 7-mile radius, the effect on directly exposed flesh is the same. It behaves like the meat in the butcher's window. Animal fats melt and burn. Tissues are charred to black carbon. Jesus Christ,
I was sitting in a coffee shop about 40 yards away and there was a terrific blast, and we knew at once what had happened, of course.
The crew starts to mobilize.
Sit down! Get back to your seats! This is a real gun, and I'll kill you!
By leaving the security of your room, you open yourself up to coming face to face with a burglar.
Put that down now! Put it fucking down!
Rules in the conking war. Everyone's involved in the conking war. If I see by them, then I'm conking the law.
Sorry, madam. Whiffs a bit, doesn't it? It was clean and fresh at every visit. Ah, madam. Take a seat.
Down this road, on a summer day in 1944, the soldiers came.
Don't you care that he's bunking?
All right, mate.
What?
Well, while you're soaking up the sun, I'm left there trying to pay for everything at home.
At least it's better than being a dried up, sour-faced, rancorous old boot!
Shut up! Stop shouting at her! I don't like you.
Rebecca.
You make everyone sad. Leave us alone.
21-month-old Lily is out of control. Her daily screaming fits have taken over the life of her mum, Gemma. This man, Derek Ogilvie, says he can read baby's mind.
I want to talk about food, okay? Now she's at a stage that she's almost scared to, instead of using the spoon, use a fork, right?
Yes.
You've noticed this, haven't you? Because she'll use a fork and then she'll put the fork down and go back to a spoon.
Yes.
Because she's scared because using the fork. Oh my God! Flippin' heck. She's so scared to grow up. She doesn't want to grow up. You've got a problem with Lily burning herself with water. There's a problem with you and hot water when you were a kid. Do you remember this?
No.
Was anybody's house broken into recently?
No.
Okay. She's telling me about a man shouting, a man upsetting you, Gemma.
Yes.
A man shouting at you, Gemma.
Yes.
Men who will smile and be nice to Mum and then be horrible. And stab you right in the back. And leave Mum in bits. And Mum can't pull herself together and Mum is a wreck. The man who wants to touch Mum's private. And bruise Mum. Bruise Mum. Bruise Mum! Who the fuck are these men in my house, she's saying? She's swearing. She's swearing. She's swearing at me. That's why we've got a problem today, because people didn't ask Lily if it was all right. And Lily doesn't want men to upset Mum ever again. Understand? Bruises, Gemma?
Yeah.
Bruises, Gemma. Leg bruises, bruises, Gemma. You need to allow time for yourself. When you take time out, this will help Lily and will also help you. Here's that effing keys, you fucking bitch.
Tonight with you, for the first time, I have learned what my lips are for.
It's entertainment all the way tomorrow evening on BBC One, beginning at 5:20 with Doctor Who and Perry continuing their battles against the Rani and the Master. At 6:05, Jim fixes it for a young Arsenal supporter to referee their match with Oxford United, but most of the opposition gets sent off. Then at 6:40, Little and Large.
You know, it's unlucky to put an umbrella up in the house.
The hell it is.
At 7:15, there's an emergency in 1 by 1 when Donald is the victim of an accident at the safari park.
The antidote syringe.
At 8:05 in Dynasty, Alexis finds a new man in her life.
I am certain this is going to be a good evening.
At 8:50, Bergerac runs into a problem.
Alcoholics suffer delusions.
I could have sworn he had a lick.
The entertainment tomorrow on BBC One.
Is a system, a foolproof system. Come to a point in their life when they've given up. I can't believe that there are jam jars on the table. Isn't something you do in your spare time. It's to give you spare time.
What's going to happen when an exacting Anthea sees crisps on paper plates?
But here there's some strong language in Parkinson.
Don't give my husband permission to smear your new snooty move.
10 years ago, John Armstrong met Anne, and it was an instant attraction. Joining forces in marriage and business, they set out to become multi-millionaires. Together, they've built UFit, Coventry's third largest double glazing company.
There was shit up the wall at sort of shoulder level. How do you do that? I mean, I'm tall, but even I couldn't shit at that level. Fucking let him go. We don't need wankers like that. We got enough other ones. Look, that is going to be dangerous because by the time we give that to somebody, it's going to be half defrosted.
Fuck 'em. So if we increase our call rate, we've done what you've done without having to pay you. What was, and now what is, and is to tomorrow a new day? Yes, it is.
Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me.
I think I'm developing the thing that I ain't going to shit on nobody's head unless I have to. But when I do, it'll be from a very great height.
Dear 60, 9:11 a.m.
Like I'm feeling quite... what's the word? Brain dead in this place. Really?
They made him look like a little clown on TV. That's not right.
That's big blow, isn't it?
Well, I don't care who it is. It's not right. He's a fucking person, and he should have got what he bleeding worked for. Now, you've made him look like an absolute individual, just a bad pair. It just looked like a clown on TV.
Brace yourself, folks. Put the kids to bed. It's time to unleash the Danan.
He's rude, he's randy, and he is ready for the action.
Now, I think it's kind of clear who Paul's first victims, favourites will be.
Brilliant.
I'm dying to get in there. I can't wait. I think they're desperate.
Really not very bright.
Scum, basically.
Yo, I can't stop now. It's the industry now, and I'm on the stage. I'm gonna beat. Oh, you think I'm crap, don't you?
You try your best, but you don't succeed.
Fuck off. Will you give Shana her idea of food heaven, mozzarella, or will you condemn her to food hell and make her eat sea bass?
Will it be his Sunday feast in heaven, grilled sardines?
Or will you choose his Sunday feast in hell, salt and pepper squid?
You jumped up, little fucking prick. Who the fuck do you think you are? Because you, as a maitre d', are fucking useless.
You exquisite little tart.
Oh, don't believe it. Get off that fucking telly. Don't fucking waste my money.
These are the Dragons, the multimillionaire investors on their way to the den.
I'm out.
I'm out.
I'm out.
Please tell me you're not going to give up your life to go and develop this further.
I'm actually in the process of selling my house to actually...
You're what?
Shiny and new. Fuckhead, shit-faced, cocksucker, asshole son of a bitch!
Scum-sucking motherfucking whore!
Isn't he sweet? Can you imagine the depressing feeling when for the first time the doors clanged shut in front of you? From Alcatraz prison in San Francisco, that's the end of Entertainment USA this week. We'll see you next week. Okay, you can open the doors now. You can open the doors now.
Proper one, You said he was born in Manchester, so well, he ain't a proper blackie then, is he?
Mr. Davis, my daughter Gloria standing over there. Hello, Gloria. How are you? And her husband, Mike. Hello, Mike.
No!
You dirty old man.
This is your first-class ticket to high-speed action, and you're in the driver's seat.
He's running on the rim only at this time.
Bill is a formidable man, but he was no match for something smaller than a bead of sweat. It KO'd him so fast he didn't even see it coming. It was a clot. Ask your doctor about Plavix today, because no matter how formidable you are, you're no match for a dangerous clot.
People taking MAOIs or thyroidazine or who have uncontrolled glaucoma should not take Cymbalta. Tell your doctor if your depression worsens or you have thoughts of suicide.
They drive up to our door, then they're dragged into court. Can online predators be taken off the streets? Tonight, in To Catch a Predator.
But instead of being greeted by a child, he meets me.
Did you have a hard time finding the place?
Not at all. How are you today?
Good, how are you?
I'm doing good. What can I do for you?
Like most of the men who come in the door, this man agrees to talk. He may think I'm a cop. At first, I don't tell him who I am.
You ask her if she's horny.
What's wrong with that?
You ask if she does anal.
It's a question.
I was actually just going to stop by here to let her know that I wasn't going to be here because I have to go meet with other people.
Wait a minute. You came by here to tell her that you weren't going to come here.
Or ask somebody to blank you off. You talk about...
Oh, I won't deny that there was
You talk about penis size here.
I mean, those are normal chat things on...
It's normal chat things with a 14-year-old boy. Ask him if he's horny. And then say, I wish you were not so far away. What conclusion can I draw from that?
It takes him a second to get on the stool because he's under 5 feet tall.
You say, then I'm big. She says, really? Yeah, how? Then you give the dimension of your penis.
All right, man, double the muscle on every stash we got. And if the man coming, make ready for the man.
I'd like to tell you a true story about American television, and I know it's true because it happened to me. CBS had called me and wanted to fly me out to audition for a pilot for a sitcom. I'd been seen in New York City by a writer, a director, and a producer, and they'd watched my stand-up act. And from that act, they took a whole bunch of lines of mine and created a character for this pilot. I was flying out to Los Angeles to audition for a part which was me. Let me make that clear. I was going to Los Angeles to audition to be myself. LSD is the only thing that can prepare you for the point where you'd be auditioning to be you. And let me tell you this, I gave a great audition. Why? Because I'm me. An hour after the audition, I got a call from CBS and they said, yes, you gave a great audition. However, there was someone who gave a better one. Unbeknownst to me, there was a better me out there. I'm just glad that that show isn't on the air. Oh boy, because I couldn't be me anymore.
Well, half your body is fat. It's just fat. He's in a bad way, Vic.
Do you want to die? Do you want to? Because I'll tell you what, if you really want to die, I'll just throw you under a fucking car.
This isn't the end of it all. This is the
No one
beginning.
can do it for you. You have to do it yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah? Put it this way, if you don't, you'll be dead by the time you're 25.
You've got 2 boxes here, you've got to put your hand in. Right hand in this one, left hand in this one. There is a star in there, you've got to reach for the star. Yeah. So when you're ready.
Are you telling me when?
Yeah, off you go, mate.
What's your name?
Shilpa. Shilpa. Shilpa.
I'm not fucking waiting hand and foot on some fucking moron and their family.
I'm one of the producers.
Well, then, you should never have embarked on this stupid thing. I hope you're making loads of money. This is sick. It's sick.
I've got a big hairy face. I must bleach the hairs off my face. Has she got a face like a man?
Like Wolf Boy, probably. Is that, do they do that in India, eat with the hands?
You're a normal housemate, like everybody else. Self up.
You know what? Your claim to fame is this.
No,
Good for you.
My claim to fame is meeting you, you fucking loser.
I think she should fuck off home.
That say I'm a rapist, a racist, I apologise, a racist.
Beautiful lady, and they are slags, and it hurts to watch it.
I am so sorry, and I am so sorry.
Since this show was the only thing I had going for me in my life, I have decided to kill myself.
So what'd she say?
I'm going to blow my brains out right on this program a week from today. I don't know what to do about the depression and the inflation and the Russians and the crime in the street. All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore. I'm mad as hell. I'm not going to take it.
Deal or no deal?
No deal.
I think you are one heck of a gutsy lady.
This is the Fortune 5. Jacqueline Gold, Chief Executive of multi-million-pound success story Ann Summers.
We really want to see somebody that is talking from the heart.
Lord Archer, former Tory MP. Jeffrey's worth around 68 million. He's sold 125 million books.
We're here to ask you for £45,000.
We teach people to cycle, and we're going to take part in the Special Olympics.
I'm a yes. Okay, well, it's a yes from me as well, then.
Oh, we've done it!
I think that £200 to each pupil to show them how disastrous, evil and awful the First World War was, what terrible decisions our British generals made, is worth being studied by every school child in this country, and I back you 100%.
It doesn't matter how hard you think you are. There's always somebody out there who's that little bit harder. It's been long, and it's been hard, but not as hard as our winner.
When a man comes, how quickly does a man perform again?
I don't think that girl would have had... I think it's unlikely she would have had anal sex.
I agree.
At 19.
Yes, I agree.
I think people
explore like that.
Then you do it with somebody you know, don't you?
Yes, quite.
And pretty slowly and pretty carefully and pretty
Absolutely.
tenderly.
Right, yeah, because I'm really stupid, and I, son. I mean, all I ever wanted was a wife. I mean, you didn't know. You couldn't make your mind up whether you wanted to play your trumpet or read a book or be a lesbian.
From the Chinese capital, Katrina Zava, for
RT. Here's why you should care. First, there's a major oil pipeline in that area.
Start on me. You just give negative. You never give us a positive, and you get on my wick.
I'm now so old, my pussy is haunted.
What addiction would that be?
Is it alcohol?
No, not at all. I'm on holiday in Spain. You know, I'm allowed to have a drink, can't I?
I believe I got through after all this time. I think I've been trying for about 3 years, so need the money to pay my phone bill.
Newsnight sadly doesn't have a cat or indeed a dog. If we did have a dog, though, what should it be called? If you've got nothing better to do than vote for the name of a non-existent animal, you can do so on our website. We pledge to abide by whatever name you choose.
Okay, female. Lady, woman, vagina, vagina person.
You are potentially one of the most annoying contestants we've ever had.
My name's Anne Woodicombe from ITV, and I'm making a programme about prostitution, and I wondered what your view on the subject was.
Depends if you're offering anything.
We don't pay for views. Well, she certainly wanted paying for her views. I wonder if she wants paying for anything else.
The first thing you should know about me is that I'm a whore.
You didn't support the action against Afghanistan to remove the Taliban. You were against it.
Why would I want to brutalize and further punish the people in Afghanistan?
Who killed your father?
Didn't kill my father.
Sure they did. The Al-Qaeda people were trained there.
The Al-Qaeda people? What about the Afghanistan?
See, I'm more angry about it than you are.
So what about George Bush?
What about George Bush? He had nothing to do with it. That's it. I'm not going to say any more.
Okay.
In respect for your father...
September 14th, do you want to know what I was doing?
Shut up.
Oh, please don't tell me to shut up.
In respect for your father, who was a Port Authority worker, a fine American, who got killed unnecessarily by barbarians.
By radical extremists trained by this government.
Respect
Not
for
the
him.
people of America,
I'm not
the people, the ruling class, the small minority.
Cut his mic. I'm not going to dress you down anymore, out of respect for your father. We'll be back in a moment with more of the fact.
We're done?
We're done.
We're receiving within the last few moments. I can tell you a new disease that we're not terribly familiar with, blue tongue disease. Visible characteristics of the disease include a fever that may last for several days, mucus lining the animal's mouth, nose and eyes, and excessive salivation and frothing. Anyway, we're getting into details there that only vets need to know about.
Joining you now with some breaking news here at the Sky News Centre. We have Harold Pinter, who's joining us. The playwright Harold Pinter, I believe, has just died. Has won the Nobel Prize for Literature. Apologies for that.
This is a short and possibly unfair history of the rise and fall of the television journalist as a hero. If you go back 50 years, television journalists were creeps, above all to politicians. They followed the rule of their boss, Lord Reith. The BBC, he said, is for the people. The government is for the people, so it follows that the BBC must be for the government.
Well now, Mr. Eden, with your very considerable experience of foreign affairs, it's quite obvious that I should start by asking you something about the international situation today, or perhaps you would prefer to talk about home. When shall it be?
With the questioning of authority in the 1960s, this began to change. But it was Watergate that transformed everything. Two journalists, Woodward and Bernstein, exposed corruption at the highest level of the US government. And suddenly, television journalists realized what they had been born to do: to expose the dark heart of government, big business and bureaucracy. It was the start of a heroic age in which television journalists revealed the sinister forces that we couldn't see, and those in power wanted to hide from us. Out of it came much great journalism. But then an event happened that made it clear that despite their heroic confidence, the journalists didn't know everything. The Berlin Wall suddenly collapsed. It was one of the biggest events of the 20th century, and none of them had seen it coming.
Here is a brick from the Berlin Wall, a souvenir from your trip here.
Jens Reich, look at it and tell us what you think tonight.
With the end of the Cold War, the TV journalists were thrown into a new and terrifying world, where all the old certainties of good and bad, right and left, began to blur in an unnerving way. And it destroyed their ability to tell us their simple moral fables. So as a way out, they came up with a new theory. They had actually been patronising and elitist when they had lectured us about corruption in high places. Instead, all stories in future should reflect our experience, and attempts to explain why things happen were abandoned. A classic example was a new type of investigative journalist, Donal McIntyre. He set out to show what it was like to get mugged. He took his mobile phone onto the streets of Brixton. For 3 nights, he desperately tried to get it snatched, until finally someone gave him his story.
Sorry, I'm looking for Stockwell Tube. Stockwell Tube. To phone. Oh, fucking hell! Oh, my mobile's gone! My mobile's gone! My mobile's gone!
And as Donal cried, we knew that he was sharing our pain. But there was one final step in this transformation of journalism. We cut out the middleman, the journalist.
If you've got a story to tell, we'd love to hear from you. The email address, as always, yournews.
Commentators, who are they? Well, they're you.
Now, our presenters plead with us to send in our photos and videos. They proudly present it as a new kind of open democracy. But in reality, it's something very different. Because the journalists don't understand what is going on in today's complex, chaotic world, they have had to revert to their old habit of finding someone in authority who will tell them. But this time, it's not the politicians, it's us, the audience, that they've turned to. The only problem is that we don't have a clue what's going on, particularly because the journalists have given up on their job of explaining the world to us.
Thanks very much, sir, for your time.
2 NATO soldiers have been killed while... There we are. Get rid of Pahlab.
Author of Iran Today, Dilip Hero. Dilip, that's always nice to see you. What do they want? What do Iran want? They want a goodwill gesture, apparently.
I mean, Iran?
Yes. No, Dilip, I was asking you what you think.
We can now tell you that he's actually unconscious and his kidneys have stopped working.
Behind them was left clear, so they could be afforded a little bit of privacy. The row behind that is where our correspondent Ian Woods is seated with our cameraman Kevin.
So they're on the plane. They look, I have to say, relatively relaxed. They're both up, just taking care of the kids at the moment. We're just trying to ascertain from them as to whether or not they are going to be prepared to make any sort of a statement either during the course of the flight or when they get to East Midlands Airport.
Panic across the country, a run on Britain's 5th largest bank.
And Northern Rock appeals for calm and urges its customers not to panic.
Northern Rock's share price plunges as panic engulfs the troubled bank. On high streets around the country, savers queue, desperate to withdraw their money. Tonight, don't bank on it. The calls for calm go unheeded.
Calm down. The Chancellor renews his plea tonight as thousands of Northern Rock savers ignore his advice.
The Chancellor has said, don't panic.
So did the captain of the Titanic. That went down.
You're actually just adding to the hysteria here. What do you say to that? I'm not panicking. Are you here to get your money out? Yeah. Some people might say that is panic.
I love being the center of attention and everything has to be focused on me. I don't like this one. What's wrong with that one? It's poofy, it's ugly, it looks tacky. I'm not gonna wear it! Happy birthday! That's yours. I can't believe she's such an idiot. She just ruined the whole party. Everything. She just ruined everything. Listen, you ruined my life. I hate you. We're leaving. The party's off.
Keep in mind, fashion is a really political world where we all have different kinds of political views. We have anti-fur, pro-war, anti-war. I'm gonna assign each and every one of you a different political view. And it's important for you to sell it, even if you do not agree with it. Sarah, you believe in life in prison. Jasleen, you believe in the death penalty.
My theme today is anti-fur. Like, I hate fur. Actually, I really do like fur. I mean, it makes you look hot.
I think Kathleen was very confused by the whole anti-fur kind of concept. She also didn't embrace that it was a political view.
Think about the message as well. Don't make it too kind of like all about modeling. If you look at your face, it's pretty, it's attractive, but that is not, I'm stopping women from taking unborn babies out of this room.
It's a very pretty picture, but I don't know whether it's, again, strong enough. I get the message. She loves meat. It's good.
If the animal's alive, you shouldn't kill it to make a fur coat or anything. But if it's already dead, then you could take the skin off.
Sometimes you need to learn how to bring a little life to a dead pose. So the shoot is, you girls are all gonna be crime scene victims. Make that right hand look a little more kind of broken. There you go. I love it because her ankle looks broken.
Dion took a little while to warm up, and she really didn't take much initiative.
What are you thinking about, JL?
My friend overdosed a week ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Not sure if that was the right way to go. I'll tell you why. You got into a place that is really, really heavy, and it allowed you not to focus on what you were doing. In the end, I think her shot was okay, but it was clear that she was not focusing on the shoot at all.
Absolutely beautiful.
I love the broken down leg.
Me too.
It's absolute genius. It's a great picture.
The look in your face is just extraordinary. I mean,
That's
very
great.
beautiful and dead.
It's the first photograph I've seen of you where you actually look like a fashion model.
I seen your mama on the World's Strongest Man competition pulling a fire truck with her teeth. Your mom is my cleaning lady.
Welcome to Whatever. James.
I couldn't live without pussy and my mum.
I'm most proud that I've got big boobs, and when I take my bra off, they don't move.
This show is gonna be fucking ill. And you know what? This TV shit is a piece of piss. Look at this. Yeah, that's good right there.
The theme of my party is haute couture. I love fashion and name brands, and Chanel.
Gotta love it.
I think it's going to be difficult to relate getting things from a bin to becoming your PA.
You never tell me what the job involves. You have to do as you're told, and you don't question. When I want your opinion, I'll tell it to you.
Discipline, guys, is something I go fucking crazy for, all right? If you're going to do brainstorming and all that kind of stuff, you take your jacket off, please. I am your boss.
No, you're not my boss. You're my project manager.
Your boss.
We're a global business consultancy. I've got a gold card for BA.
Wouldn't it be amazing to use my God-given talent and sing around the world? I want #1 singles, albums. On the back of that, in the future, I'd love to be knighted. I'd like to meet the Queen.
Stand up straight. What is your game here today? What is your fucking game? Something's happened to you. You've just switched off completely. You're turning into a right little bitch. Melissa, give me your jacket.
Oh, thank God.
You, madam, are going in the men's team. Take your jacket off. Turn.
Woo! Okay.
You were not there! You did not hear or record all the interview! Do you understand?
He's always got the ump.
I want all the kids out there to say no. Say no to drugs there. Don't do the drugs there.
Such as cocaine, pot, heroin, all that bad stuff.
It's all bad.
Tonight, Olympic hero Tom Daley coaches 5 celebrities as they dive headfirst into the most terrifying challenge of their lives.
When I step out poolside, I can smell the chlorine. I start to climb the steps. My heart is racing. I'm on the edge. My world stops.
These vagina head monsters that fight in ponds.
Elephants attack each other with their mouth sticks, and the tall horse monsters have these head fighting competitions that look like they'd filmed Rocky inside 2 giraffes by mistake.
How gazelles can float and how...
Some of them can't eat anymore, you know.
He may have style, but he's turning out to be something of a disappointment.
And I'm here to tell you, 1776 will commence again if you try to take our firearms.
This one is Pinky. It's my pink 22 AR-15. And then this one is Pinkalicious, my pink 22 chambered pistol.
The only thing that stops a bad guy with a gun is a good guy with a gun. Vicious, violent video games with names like Bulletstorm, Grand Theft Auto, Mortal Kombat, and Splatterhouse.
National Rifle Association has taken the controversial step of launching its own video game.
Office of President of the United States.
The Office of President of the United States.
And
this is really just a flying gun, and he's in charge of it.
And he's off, away from the cameras and the questions. Captain Wales runs back to the life he's come to love.
I'm now so old, my pussy is haunted.
I got right behind him and tased him. He fell on the ground within a couple of seconds, and he got taken away in the police van. Gross domestic product fell by 0.3% in the fourth quarter of 2012.
Any more questions? There must be some.
Like we're in a double or triple dip recession.
It does, yeah.
What about you?
I thought the same really. There's just no spare money anywhere. Every bit of money you get goes on bills, electric.
What do you do?
I'm a builder by trade.
Well, one of the stories behind the numbers, the situation is keenly felt by businesses up and down the country. A little bit briefly about your business and how it's coping right now.
We're coping pretty well. We're on the high street and the internet, and we're doing pretty well, actually.
It's a bit about your business and how you're faring right now.
Actually, last year we probably had one of the best years we've ever had. Out of the last 6 months of the year, 5 months of those were best ever months.
I would concur with the previous comments. We've actually seen a good upturn in 2012 and our revenues were increased.
Welcome to you. How's business?
It's been amazingly good, actually. We're doing very well. Growth last year on the bedroom element.
Do you really believe that you can have a normal life and a normal body and a normal health?
Yeah.
Mukhtar Belmokhtar has an entourage that calls him the Prince.
They also call him One-Eyed Jack, as in the Jack of Diamonds.
AKA One Eye because he lost an eye, AKA the Marlboro Man because he made a living smuggling cigarettes.
Good evening. Supermarket shelves are being cleared of frozen burgers tonight after reports that some contain DNA from horses. The horse meat scandal deepens. Findus lasagnas have been found to contain up to 100% horse meat.
Alfie Green, beef lasagna was a tea time favourite. Not anymore.
So will you be eating any more of these?
No, not no more. We won't. Definitely not.
What's supposed to happen is that the supermarket checks on your behalf. Supermarkets are the experts in food. We talk about the food chain, and at one end meat comes out, and cows normally go in. But somewhere in the food chain, horses came in and meat came out.
For many of us, this is revolting. Men dancing with men.
Neither the Prime Minister nor any of the other party leaders has a mandate.
There's no mandate for this at all.
There's no mandate.
No mandate.
No mandate. He has got no mandate. No mandate. No mandate.
Should we not be equal to anybody else?
Say gay marriage. It isn't gay marriage. It's just marriage.
Dignity for lesbian and gay people.
You've got a stable relationship, 5 kids. What's the big deal?
My brother was gay, so I don't object to it, and I loved him.
Based on my Christian beliefs, I don't agree with gay marriages at all.
We're not that impressed, actually. Are we, love?
Alive in a Soho bar.
Yes, we're in the Rupert Street Bar in central London where we'll be talking to gay men and getting their reaction.
Tonight at 10, plans to allow gay couples to marry have been approved by MPs.
Evening, ladies. My name's William and I'm from Carmarthen.
This is Sing Date, where people look for love by singing to each other.
It's deep-fried camel bear. Camel penis.
Oh! Now, you might wonder why I'm being put through my paces on what is, in essence, a children's toy. And so am I. Well, it's because of this Gloucestershire student, Roger Auster from Minchin Hampton. Roger, what have you made me do?
Oh, I'm really sorry. It's a bit of a
I
lame
love that
thing.
you've come on news to talk about space hopping. Where did this all begin? What have you done?
I've bounced 4 miles along Gwithian Beach in Cornwall to raise money for charity.
This idea originally, it all started just chatting to your mum, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
So why actually space hoppers? I mean, there are lots of things you can do to try and break world records because you still haven't found out if you've broken it yet. Hopefully you've broken the record. How long till you'll find out if you have or not?
6 to 8 weeks.
Oh, it's quite a wait then, isn't it?
A little wait, yeah.
And I have to say, it's rather relaxing. It's just bobbing around, but it's time, unfortunately, for you to hop on.
Okay, well, thank you very much.
Thank you. Andrew?
I need to fuck something. Trixie!